Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, everyone. Episode 198 of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's running around with me tonight?
My name is Joe Butler, and my Azoth brings all the boys to the yard.
And who else is with us tonight?
Smooshe.
Hi, and welcome. This is your first time on the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
And we are here to talk about a game that I've been meaning to play for years, and I don't know if I'm happy about playing it or not. Haunting Ground, which came out in 2005, published and developed by Capcom for PS2 only. So my first question is, have either of you played this game before this episode?
No.
No, but I've read various fan fictions.
Okay. I have been meaning to play this game forever, just because it's such a, considered such a classic horror, or maybe not classic, but such a rare game because the only way to play it is an old PS2 copy unless you play it other ways, like I did, and I'm assuming all three of us did, so.
The other ways are the best ways.
Oh, I wouldn't have beaten this game if I didn't have save states and video guides and guides from like FAQs. I would never gotten through this game because this is one of the most bizarre third-person horror games I have played for this show, hands down. Like, I would have never figured anything out in this game if I wasn't cheating immensely.
The cheating is how you get through it.
Yeah, no, you have to have a guide. The people who built this game, like Blind in 2000, are built different because I haven't played many. I played tons of horror games. Not many where don't have any weapons, but they usually tend to be just super annoying.
I mean, you have weapons in this game, sort of. If you use them or not. I never did, but they're there. They're not good, but they're there.
They're also kind of random.
Not only is it random, but it's very unforgiving is the word I want to say.
There's tricks to this game. Like when I watch a speedrun, one thing they do is they run into people sometimes and kick them enough times so they run away. But I wasn't gonna dare try that.
No, and I was saying, it's there's a Dark Souls aesthetic that happens here. You know what I mean? They're just no, you can't progress.
You just gotta figure it out somehow.
I want to use the 90% of your brain power. There you go.
One of the puzzles, you have to type in certain words to make a golem move. And I know there's probably notes that tell you, but this game is not easy to figure out because, any of those who don't know, Haunting Ground is a third-person horror game where you're being chased most of the time. You have no real offensive weapons. You get a dog pretty early on, but for the most part, you're just being stalked by different characters throughout the game.
So, weird fact, this game is written by the guy that wrote Resident Evil 2, and this was supposed to be Clock Tower 4, but Clock Tower 3 did so badly, they decided to rebrand it.
That makes sense.
Kind of, because...
Clock Tower, you hide, you don't fight.
Oh, not in 3.
Oh, I never played 3. I've only played the SNES one.
3 is weird because you become a magical girl. And how in this game you kind of have boss fight sequences where at the end of the stage you kind of have a boss fight with your stalker.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but you're given a magical girl bow and this Sailor Moon-esque transformation dance happens. And you basically have to shoot the boss with a bow a certain amount of times, and it does a ritual where it basically just obliterates them.
I want to play that.
I know, right? It sounds great.
I did not. And I realized, I already knew this, but playing this game, I really realized I hate being chased in video games more than anything. I learned that today, or out this past week.
And you know what this game reminds me of that I also don't recommend for you?
What?
Outlast.
Oh, yeah, I'm not playing that ever, so.
Fucking hate those.
I have an unpopular opinion.
Sure.
I hated Outlast.
I don't think that's unpopular. I
actually really hated it.
I've never played it, and I'm terrified to even mess with it. Because you're a fan of horror games, right?
Yes, horror media in general.
Not me. I'm a chicken shit for the most part. Every Spooktober I play a bunch of horror games for this show, and this is one that I've been talking about doing for years. But we didn't have the ability to emulate PS2, and I was not spending $400 on a copy of this game. So I think it's more than that now, even.
Now it's about $300.
But still, this game is not worth. No game is really worth it, in my opinion. I don't like physical media like that anymore. Yeah. I say that, but I have a comic to the left of me that's worth a couple $100. But hey, that's different.
If you're not trying to sell it, you just own it, so it's fine.
Yeah, and I also paid like $20 for it. I just got lucky. So there's that. But no, I mean, I don't know. This is one thing about this game that upsets me is that it was never re-released. It's only on PS2. Capcom has never bothered to port this for any reason. And this is a game that really should be ported.
I would absolutely love a Resident Evil 2 style remake of this game where Huey has super advanced AI and so do the Stalker enemies. And
No. Okay, Huey, yes. Everyone else, no.
They're terrifying when they chase
It doesn't need to be that much harder.
Yeah.
Just give them aim assist. Who cares?
yeah,
I mean, they have pretty good AI in this game, though.
Oh yeah, no, I think that PS2, it was just a whole new level. You know, like they really cared about stuff.
Because the enemies,
the weird graphics, I think, even if you look at like old sites, like part of the creepiness was the bad graphics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this game actually might have done better with tank controls. I can't tell you how many times I'd run in a screen and get sidetracked and run backwards because my whole aim changed.
There was a moment where I think I was trying to get away from one of the luminous lights, and when I turned the corner, the controls forced me back, and I ran into it.
And then you scream.
Yeah, then you scream.
How much do we all hate panic status?
Extremely.
There's a couple times in the game almost makes you do it too. There's an early scene where I fucked up, or not really fucked up, but there's an optional scene where you can go to a door and you look through a window and you see the maid that you see throughout early part of this game getting just slapped and then she'll smile at you at the end of being slapped where she's bleeding, and then your character will scream. Fiona will scream and then go in panic mode. And doesn't serve any purpose.
I think there's like a minor panic mode. It kind of low-key gives me like Amnesia vibes.
Okay. I've never played that yet.
Yeah, me neither.
What?
I don't like horror games.
We'll have to do like a co-op playthrough.
I want to play more horror games. I'm playing Silent Hill 4 next week for the first time because I'm trying to knock more off my list.
I have a whole list for you. Like, honestly, I am the self-proclaimed horror master. Self-proclaimed being the key. So I actually have I'm such like a horror nerd for like lore. I did like a lore reading.
Okay. I hate all things horror. I just have no.
Well, don't.
My wife loves
Ito, then.
horror stuff. She has a tattoo of Jason, Michael, Pennywise, and someone else, and I can't remember who. All on her arm because she just loves that type of stuff, and I hate it. But
probably Ghostface. I
mean, did either of you two finish this game for the episode?
I did. I have a lot going on, but I do all of my game playing at night, honestly.
Okay.
I sadly was not able to. I also had a lot going on and also had some other stuff come up, so I wasn't able to sadly beat this.
That's all right. No, I mean, you didn't miss anything because you got to the second Stalker. This game technically is broken into 4 parts. You saw mostly what the game had to offer. It doesn't change. The gameplay is pretty much the same throughout the entire game.
Yeah, but whatever. With your relationship with the dog, though, does affect your ending.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, we'll talk about that at some point. It's pretty. I was reading it on Wikipedia. That is disturbing.
Yeah, we'll get to
know.
I mean, this was a game that I was like just tense all the time playing it. Like it just made me uncomfortable all the time because I never knew when a stalker was going to show up. And the worst part is when you start getting chased, you can't pick up items. You can't do anything but run or try to hide. And sometimes I'd go to a hiding spot like, oh, they're too close. I'm like, they're not even in the room. Like, just go hide.
Yeah, no, the ambiance is actually really good.
Yeah, it's just creepy. I don't like creepy.
I feel like the holes you find in the walls should have been like getaway in generals. Like they really should have been. They're basically save rooms from Resident Evil, and I know when you're in panic mode or you're running away from the stalkers, she gives the excuse that there's no time for that. I can't do that. But it's like, no, you can hide in that hole because I'm pretty sure you're the only person allowed in that hole. So
yeah, I thought that worked, but you can't go in them when you're being chased.
Which I think is kind of weird. Honestly, I feel like they should have given you a little bit of leeway, but no leeway, no mercy.
No, this game is not friendly. At
No
all.
mercy.
Like, there's no HUD. You have no health bar that you can see. You have no stamina bar that you can see, other than watching the way she walks, and eventually she'll get more tired and run slower, and that's her health too. Like, there's stuff like that I didn't like that. I would have rather had a HUD.
I do appreciate that, honestly. But I think I did really, when you get through like the third stalker, the third pursuer, whatever, you kind of figure out like how to tell if they are approaching, and the dog is pretty helpful.
Yeah, I mean, Huey will growl when they're getting near.
Yeah.
I get upset. I'm like,
But then
don't
you're
growl.
like, wait,
Don't growl.
where am I going now?
There were some really annoying parts with the stalkers. I mean, the way the game starts off too, like you start off in a cage wrapped in like a sheet. Like, this game is just I had a lot of issues with this game with the story. It really irritated me in ways.
It irritated you how? Like, it didn't make sense, or it was just
This is very
weird?
creepy.
Oh yeah, it's a horror game.
I know what it was. Just I don't know. I didn't like that.
He's like, I hate it.
I didn't.
Don't scare me, please.
Oh God, I would get so tense when the music would change, because at least when I had to, as anyone who listens to the show will know, and Joe knows, I play a lot of time without sound, because this game, sound on every single time, headphones in every time. I had to know what was going on because so much of the game is affected by sound.
It is, and that's the good part though, because if it's completely silent, like it's not really putting you in that mindset of like I need to be scared. You're just like, all right, this is walking simulator, but it doesn't have that. So it actually wants you to care, like if you're being pursued, which obviously you already know that you are. But I love the ambiance, honestly. That's the kind of thing that sucks me into. I want the illusion.
It does a good job of keeping you on edge, and like the map system is garbage. But I learned the mansion after a while pretty well I just learned it, which I was impressed by myself. But like, cause yeah, I mean, Joe, did you try using the map?
Yeah, I gave up.
It's garbage.
I give up.
And I looked and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna Google a map. Couldn't find one. I was trying to find a map where someone had labeled what room, because my guy's like, oh, go to the laundry room. I'm like, I don't know what a laundry room is.
Yeah, there's a part in like the walkthrough I was reading where he's like, oh yeah, go back to the statue room, and it just goes statue room now and here, and I'm like, where the fuck was the statue room at? And I got lost for about a good 15-20 minutes.
The first two areas I think are the biggest. I think it gets 4 is really small and 3's pretty small. 3's smaller.
Isn't 4 just a straight line though, or something?
Yes.
Being chased by an invisible enemy.
Well, he's only invisible if you do it where he doesn't exist, like I did. Because there's a glitch with the last guy that you open a pot and a little like these glowing things, fluorescent that we were talking about, that follows you, and then if you run towards where he's going to spawn, step on a rock right by where his cutscene is, he never spawns. You get the cutscene of him being there, but he never actually spawns. So the music never plays, and you just run on with the game and just continue on, and you skip a whole boss fight because he never spawned. It was great. I did it. I was like, this is simple as hell. You kick one pot and run. That's it. It's real simple.
I had troubles with some of the walkthroughs because they're exactly like Joe just said. Like, where the fuck was I just looking? Where the fuck was I supposed to go? I didn't see any of that.
It's not easy to figure out. Like, it took me some time. Like, I'd read through it, so I was like, okay, what else was in this room that I might have done when I previously went here? And there were a couple times in this game where I couldn't figure out what to do. I literally had to find a video and watch a guy to see what they did so I could find my way to the right room, because I could not figure it out a couple times. And the problem watching the video is they get hunted. So then you got to let them run away and lose the stalker. Then you can, see where they go. What's annoying too.
Yeah, they don't make it easy, but I kind of like that again, because I don't really want it to be that easy. I want to be challenged. I don't want to be Dark Souls level challenged, but it's still such a great experience.
I'm glad you had fun. I mean, I like Dark. Well, I like Dark. I love Dark Souls. Oh, I hated this game, but I love RPG elements in my games because I will farm my way to win if I have to.
There's a weird example that I always use when people ask me what I expect out of a Stalker game, and my main example is the opening of RE7 where you're being hunted by Jack.
Oh, okay.
And they kind of also do that in RE2, like if you had the police station without zombies and just had Mr. X, because he goes down too. And I would like to have a game like that where I'm not completely helpless, but I have an option of, well, do I get knock him out now and then continue on, or should I save up my ammo until there's a puzzle and I know he's going to be bothering me in the puzzle room?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'll just knock him out outside, do the puzzle, and continue on.
In this game, you just get to run for your life.
A lot.
Too much.
Yeah, it can definitely be difficult to shake the pursuers, because I don't know, everything's a little bit different.
Oh, I got chased by I think the first stalker, Delibitus or something is his name. I'm not sure the right. He's supposed to be essentially like a giant with a childlike personality where he didn't even that's living here who he thinks you're a doll, so he's just trying to play with you, but essentially going to murder you.
Yeah.
He's also gross.
Yeah, it's just everything is just like I don't even understand what the hell is going on in the story. You wake up in a cage. Your parents died in a car accident. I watched all the cutscenes. I beat the game, but I don't understand shit that went on.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, okay. As we get there, you can fill me in. I read a little bit about it, and I was watching some videos, but I'm just like, this is just odd.
Yeah, it's weird. Rana, did you understand what the hell's going on in this game?
I mean, from my own perspective, yeah. I feel like everyone's gonna see things a little bit differently, anyways. Though,
Yeah, but I feel like this game's also meant for you not to kind of understand what's going on, because this game focuses heavily on alchemy stuff. Because I know there's like the whole puzzle with the Godstone, and I don't think the game ever fully explains what the hell Azoth is. And so, like, right before we started this, I looked it up and I was like, oh, okay, that doesn't actually still make sense, but okay.
No, it does near the end. I mean, you start to find out that you have the Azoth in you, and that's what everybody but the first person wants. Because the second stalker wants to kill you because you have the Azoth, and that makes you a human or a woman or something, and she's not pure or something, so she wants to murder you, and she's like a doll, I guess, but she's supposed to be like a perfect woman or something weird.
She's a homunculus.
Yeah.
She was fucking creepy.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy her.
I mean, yeah.
That one did. Okay, that one really freaked me out because there's a couple of times. So the first stalker, you go through, he's a big giant. You eventually get into a boss fight room with him where you have to do like a classic boss room type fight where you got to get him to run into the wall so he knocks down a chandelier.
Which you don't have
I think
to
you
do.
can kill him too, I think, which fucks up your ending, I think.
It doesn't.
I personally liked the second one.
I-
It's
yeah.
just like, I'm
It's
so
cool.
jealous of you.
She just scared the shit out of me multiple times because
you have all these things that I can't do.
Did you run into the one room where she's just sitting there waiting, like she's just cleaning, you can talk to her like normal and nothing's wrong, she's not trying to kill you all of a sudden?
I think that's for a puzzle.
I think it might have been. I was just
Yeah.
I mean the guy told me like, yeah, this is one of the few times she won't try to kill you. Go talk to her.
Go find some shit out.
But it was just like it was just so weird. I'm like, who would think in a game where you're being pursued by an enemy, you have to go talk to the enemy at the same time? Like it threw me for a loop,
So
which I know it's supposed to, but I was just like, this is odd.
I have a weird question for both of you.
Sure.
Did either of you die to her?
No.
Well, if I did, I would have reloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would have definitely low-key cheated it, but yeah.
I died to her because I wasn't sure if I died or not, because this game doesn't actually give you a clear view of if that's you dying or if you're just laying on the ground suffering. So
True.
I died, and like the death screen says something in Latin, and it's her just like laughing her ass off in like a really creepy way, and I'm like, that's not going to leave my mind out for a while. And then I just autosave, so now I have to redo like 15-20 minutes progress.
Oh no. Oh my god, I'd be so pissed.
I fucked up with save station at the end for a part, but we'll get there.
Yeah, I need to invest. I have a 60% keyboard, so I have to hit like a key to hit like F1, F2, and all that. And I think due to this game and probably future games, I'm probably gonna have to get an actual keyboard at some point.
Yeah, you might want to. I mean, I don't usually do pretty good with games, but I mean, this was one that was very challenging. I felt like if I didn't have save state, I never would have made it because like you can die very quickly too, especially with the second stalker. God, what the hell's her name? Angelica or something?
And yes, Angelica or something like that. I don't remember what exactly.
She runs after
Something similar.
a
Yeah.
shard of glass because when you first see her, she breaks a mirror, takes a shard of glass, and then runs after you with it, and that's how she tries to murder you. Oh, she creeped me out though. Like she was also a hard one to lose. I could lose Debilitus a couple times without any problems. I could not lose her. Like she was hard to get rid of. A couple times.
a pain in the ass, but like I feel like they all have their things where they're like, what's the word I'm looking for? Their strengths on which one's going to be difficult for whatever reason,
Like what hiding spots they look at, because they can also find your hiding spots too in this game.
Yeah, if you, especially if you use it often, which I definitely do.
I would reload and not go
Sometimes I
in the room.
found myself running in circles.
I mean, sometimes that can work. If you can outrun them enough, you can lose them, but it's not where you can make Huey attack them and then he'll bite them for a little bit, then they'll get confused, and then you can lose them that way sometimes.
Oh, I use the dog. Trust me, I use.
Huey's a good boy. I mean, that was one thing nice about this game is that you have the dog companion to really help you do everything you need.
Huey's such a good boy. He comes back and saves you in Resident Evil 4.
Well, since you mentioned Resident Evil 4, I don't know if for those that don't know, they use the same face model for Fiona for Jill in Resident Evil 5. Yeah, it's the same model.
I did not.
That's what one of the videos I was watching. He's like, yeah, it's the exact same model. They just freshened it up for RE5, but it's the same model.
I'm not surprised.
So
neither am I. I mean, considering who's the director, the cinematics director.
Another thing I don't know that I was like they were talking about the speedrun is that near the end of every Stalker, there's like a certain kind. They have a puzzle, then they have a death puzzle, and then they also have like the boss fight. Is one thing they were mentioning. Like each one has that setup for this game, which is
he did Neo
that people can't go into. Like every Stalker has certain rooms that if you go into the puzzle room, they can't follow you. They'll automatically despawn.
Yeah, it'd be kind of unfair. It would be kind of unfair.
You can do anything because you can't really move around. I mean, the first boss fight was fine. The second, I also feel like when you're being chased by Angelica, that's the longer part of the game. I think that was a very long part being chased by her. At least it felt long to me. Well, everything is just weird about it. Like the first part, before you even start fighting her, she makes you soup. You eat soup, and then you get sick, and then you wake up in bed, and she's touching you. So I mean, that was already...
you're not invited to touch me.
It was just like, what the fuck? I mean, I did notice that they make sure very well clearly in the opening in different places in this game, like in the Wikipedia, she's 18 years old. 18 years old. I'm like, I'm glad you clarified that, but maybe we could just skip some of this stuff and not go down that road. So
yeah, I posted it in the group chat, but like as soon as she gets that outfit on, I'm like, man, the jiggle physics in this game were just out of this world. Like even a slight tap and she just goes all over the place. It's like, my God.
It was a little much. Reminded me of Dead or Alive, but that's a different game.
Is anyone going to talk about the M. Night Shyamalan twist in this game?
Oh, who her father is? Yeah. So I don't, Joe, I'm assuming you got it from like cutscenes and stuff, but
yeah,
her father is a clone, and the guy that's trying to kill you is also a clone of your father.
Well, they're two clones? They're both clones.
I think they're both clones.
They're both clones, and he's kind of instrumental in this whole thing kicking off.
Yeah, he killed them. You see a cutscene near the end. They crash their car. He goes to the car, shoots her father, and then takes her captive.
No, he stabbed.
Yeah,
her.
Not only that, but it's so gross, and he wants to like use her to basically Phoenix himself.
Yeah.
Like a couple steps back, Ricardo.
Is in Lorenzo, there's a guy who gives you notes throughout the game, which I actually missed it because there's one part you're supposed to go to a wall and you'll get a note. I just skipped it because I just didn't do it. And that might have been what you were talking about, Joe, where you said a note didn't think. I think it's supposed to be when you go to it. There's a certain wall with a bunch of holes in it, so stick her hand through and she'll get a note.
So I was being chased whenever the game prompted me that the walkthrough prompted to do that. So when I went up to the wall, she's like, "There's no time now." But whenever I was going back through that area later, I heard where he's like, Fiona, and I walked up. I'm like, "Oh, hey, cool. Here's the prompt." I was worried because I thought it was like story important because I think the note says like, "Oh, you've got to get out of the castle."
Yeah,
and it's like there's like a hint in the note to where to go, but when you have a walkthrough, it doesn't matter. So.
No, thankfully this game doesn't have a whole lot of like things you have to do in order to progress it. You just have to get certain key items, and that's it. And then you can progress the game.
Mike's like, I'm trying to leave. I don't want to be here.
Oh, I didn't want to play this game. Like there were multiple times where I'm like, fuck, I gotta play Haunting Ground. I'm just like, I don't want to. This game is just tense.
Damn, I gotta finish it.
Oh, I mean, part of it, I try to beat a game every week for the show, and sometimes multiple. But this was a game where I could not wait to be done because every moment I played it, I was tense and stressed out and uncomfortable. Like, you get lost constantly. You're trying to figure out what the hell you're doing. You're trying not to make noise because if you make noise, you can attract a stalker sometimes. And and Angelica, I had such a hard time trying to lose her too because like you can make her run into mirror, or she'll look in a mirror and then she'll smash the mirror with her face, and that will distract her. But she would do that and still chase after me somehow, still find me.
She teleports.
I mean, she was the worst in my opinion for me. I didn't have a hard time with the other set, but she was really tough for me.
I think it's just mostly like time consuming for the most part for me.
Yeah, because she also has a lot of stuff you have to do in her section, and you have more of the castle opened up. You have the whole first part, I think, is open up too at first, or for a bit of it until you do something with the water, and then you lock part of the castle away.
Yeah.
Something happened. I remember I got lost for a while, and I could not figure out what to do, and there was this one door I just kept missing because I had to watch a few guides. So I could not figure out where to go. And her boss fight was fun, though. Okay, no, I shouldn't say fun. Her boss fight pissed me off, but I like the way that she died, at least.
He's like, I was actually mad as hell.
I was having a hard time. You had to push these 4 blocks, and I watched the speedrunner do it, and he 6 Huey on her, and he pushes the blocks, no problem at all. And I'm like, what the fuck are you like, I tried this, and it took me, I almost died multiple times in that fight where I had to reload because she would just kill me because I just couldn't get her to leave me alone, and Huey just wouldn't take care of her enough. Yeah, she wasn't fun. Like, there's one part where you go through a room with mirrors and like a carousel. It reminded me of Silent Hill, and for some reason, the mirrors in that room don't affect her. She just runs after.
Yeah,
her.
that is a little bit weird.
So I thought, okay, I'll be safe in here. And she just runs into me and tries to kill me. I'm like, well, that didn't work out.
There's also a way to make her harder on purpose as well.
How?
Yeah, it's in the walkthrough that I was reading. Whenever you go to, there's a puzzle where it's like, oh, there's 2 rooms, and each room's identical except for like 3 things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's poking at a fire, and if you go talk to her, she like stops poking at the fire, but now her new weapon is the fire poker.
I must have did that because she had a fire poker.
So that if you don't disturb her, she still gets it later on.
Okay. Yeah, because she chased after me with a fire poker for a while. I might have disturbed her.
No, you actually have to go up to her and talk to her, and you get a cutscene.
I might have done that.
Oh.
I might have.
Why can I see that happening?
I was just like, oh, okay, I'll talk to her. But yeah, no, she chased after me with a fire poker. I remember that, and that wasn't fun. She does a lot of damage to you, too, I felt.
She does. They all get increasingly harder. I believe they said the 3rd stalker, which is, what the hell's his name, Lorenzo?
Ricardo. That's the creeper.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that wants to impregnate you.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Lorenzo wants to do that too, but I mean, Ricardo's a little more forthcoming about it.
Ricardo has a wood carved dummy. He has you pull the sheet off, and she's pregnant. And he's like, "That'll be you." And I'm like, "Wah!" I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Oh wait, is that what you got from that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was that he tried to do that to someone else and it didn't work, and that it was just like a woman who like withered away while he tried to make pregnant.
No, I thought it was that what he's just telling her what he's going to do to her later.
Oh no, he wants to impregnate her 100%. He wants to rebirth himself.
The baby.
It's a
creepy ass.
I feel like those are partly the reason why this game hasn't been,
Yes, but you know what? You know something interesting is that they did make Fiona's costume, something I wrote down, or just like haphazardly. They did have her costume as like an alternate skin for Cammy and Street Fighter.
Oh.
Yeah, Street Fighter 5. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
That's weird.
So people were like, "Oh, maybe they're gonna make sense." So they've been like on a
I wish they would just remaster this. This doesn't even need to be remake. Just remaster it. I mean, I know it's not simple, but it's really sad that this game doesn't exist anywhere but in Scalper's hands. That makes me sad.
Yeah. I don't think they're gonna remaster this game.
No.
When they remaster it.
I think it did, but I don't think it's gonna happen just for the
or just
content.
Re-release it like digitally on a store if they could. Like I think that would work too.
Oh yeah, Sony has.
Yeah.
If you have a Japanese PSN account, you can download it for the PS3.
Well, they never translated it?
You can set it's already recorded in English. So
then why not? Then why not? It doesn't make any sense why they didn't just finish the job and put it on the US store.
Because America.
They're assholes.
Yeah, it's assholes.
Yeah.
That's just dumb. Okay, that just made it all worse because, like, I mean, I was watching a video where the guy's like, oh, you can either, you can try to hook this up with a PS2 emulator and throw through all that challenge. I'm like, ain't that hard, buddy. Like,
well, there's also this huge problem where the gaming industry just has this idea that horror just doesn't sell, but it really does. That's why it's great that games like Outlast or like Resident Evil are like getting more.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like horror games, but a lot of people do, and I'm glad they exist.
I love horror games.
That's why you're here.
Yeah. I was like, me, please.
I mean, this is probably the scariest game that I've ever I played for this. Well, no, Resident Evil 2 still takes that cake for me. The remake.
Resident Evil.
That remake terrified me. Like, I had a hard time sleeping. I was like, Mr. X is not going to pop through my door. Stop it. Go to bed. Like, I just was stressed out. Oh, that was a game. This game didn't do that to me. I slept fine. I was just annoyed playing it.
I haven't listened to the podcast.
Oh, what, Joe?
I haven't listened to the podcast yet, but Doom 3 didn't scare you, Mike?
The beginning did. The beginning stressed me out, but then it was fine after it once I got more guns. This game was stressful the entire way through. It never got unstressful. I got completely lost too at one point when you're in the tombs and you have to get this. You have to do a golem where he walks into the fire. You have to do 2 different golems where they walk into the fire, and I could not find a second pathway. I'm running around, and then finally I had to pull up a video. I'm like, oh, you have to just go this other way, and I'm just missing it the whole time. That was bugging me.
So weird.
There's a lot of little things in this game you can miss. There's a lot of key items that I feel like are not visible. There's just a lot of stuff that can happen to you. I mean, some of the key items you need Huey to go through a hole, you need Huey to jump on something to grab you an item, and like little stuff that I don't think I would have put 2 and 2 together that quickly.
Do you want me to tell you something? You have to promise me you can't get mad.
Sure, of course.
Did either of you do the mini game in the game?
No.
The mini game in the whole room where you do medallions?
Oh yes, I did that. You get items.
I just completely blocked it out.
It's not that necessary.
Yeah.
Well, it could be, because if you do good enough in those mini games, you get an item that if you equip it to a Fiona, if she stands still, she becomes completely invisible to the enemy.
Oh, I did see that item, but I didn't know you could get it from there.
You can't get it. You can get it from there early on. That's
cool. That would have been because the speedrunner he was playing a new game plus that I was watching. He puts in a code, one of the typewriter things, and he was able to get it that way. Okay, that's cool. I tried the medallion thing, but I just, even with save states, I just couldn't get myself to want to hit the buttons enough.
Just trying to get away.
I didn't know you could get that cloak. If I knew I'd get that cloak, then I would have did it for sure. I would have got that cloak because from what I saw of the speedrunner, he would run into the shadow and just crouch, and then he'd be hidden, and that would be enough.
Yeah, no, that would have been very useful.
Because one of my issues with this game is trying to run and hide, because you just couldn't get away from them sometimes, and they wouldn't get off you. Like, they wouldn't stop chasing you, and it annoyed the hell out of me.
Yeah, from what I gathered from some of the gameplay I watched, they are supposed to get progressively harder. I know, is it Angela or whatever, the homunculus, the second stalker, she, I don't think anything works on her. Like, she automatically knows where you are at all times. And Ricardo's gun was it 1 or 2 shots can kill you?
If he hits you, yes. Luckily, he's a bad aim.
He's basically a stormtrooper.
He has really bad aim, but he scares her when he pulls the gun out, too. So it makes her, there's a better chance of her going into panic mode.
Well,
that was the other issue.
It's a smoothbore gun. You never saw that meme where it's like, if people broke into my house and it was the 1800s, I load my smoothbore gun, it misses, and I load a bunch of grape shot into my cannon, and I kill 3 guys and the neighbor.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, don't worry about
it. Okay. No, Ricardo wasn't... Oh, the last thing I want to say about Angelica is the way she dies, though, is great, where you have to push these 4 blocks, and then she stands in front of a mirror thing, and a giant glass shard just falls into her and kills her. I was happy.
How satisfying is that, though?
It was, especially after how much trouble she gets. I mean, it's sad, but it's like, I was just happy, okay, you're done. We're going to deal with you anymore.
Oh, other weird question. Did either of y'all get the extra weapon from the Billertis's weird hidey hole?
Yes. To the guy.
Oh, yeah.
I would have never figured that out on my own, though.
Yeah, same.
No. This is a video walkthrough thing.
Because like that was to me that was like that's a real like a moment that most I feel like a blind player wouldn't have gotten because you have to beat the boss, go back to the boss's house, talk to him, he gives you a key, then go to a strange locker that was locked earlier, and then now you can go in there and get an item. It just seemed like a lot. So I was a little like, okay. It didn't help much though. There's also boots in this game that you can get where when you kick them, there's a 1 in 6 chance you'll light them on. Your boots will do like 10 times the amount of damage or something though.
I thought you were gonna say lights them on fire. Like that's
I literally thought the exact same thing.
It almost does. It is supposed to be like a fire attack to them, and you'll see a little like purple. You'll see a little orange explosion below her feet.
Cool.
It's supposed to be like fire boots essentially or something like that. It's a secret item you can get. A New Game Plus, you can get a bunch of secret items. So, Miranda, did you run into the little squeaky guys that grab your foot and scream?
I don't remember that.
They're only in a couple parts. They're these little guys that look like they have no face. They're just little legs and little arms, and they jump and they run and grab on your feet and then scream.
Oh, I don't think I looked at them.
Yeah, you can kick them. They die in one kick, but if you miss them, they grab you. And
Dude, that kind of like gives me. I hate the foot grabbing thing. I hate the foot grabbing thing. I'm just like so not for the foot grabbing thing.
It was creepy as hell when it first happened to me. I was like, "What the hell?" Like, and then Joe, you didn't see because I think it's in the third part. You start seeing these random like people that don't do anything. There's one guy licking vomit off the floor.
Oh no, I saw the little babies you're talking about.
Yes.
Apparently they spawn more throughout the castle in hard mode in the beginning, like or throughout the whole game technically.
I don't like that. I kicked the little bastard as soon as I saw him because I'm like, you are not grabbing my foot and screaming. Because like when they scream or things make noise, they attract the stalker towards you. And the last thing I wanted was Ricardo bothering me.
Yeah, I'm always trying to like sneak. I'm a sneaky snook. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to get around with the least amount of. So I'm gonna go as slow as humanly possible.
Like
I'm
God,
gonna sneak my way level 100 Skyrim sneak fucking level. Like
I'm not a big stealth guy. I will play stealth game, but I'm not a big stealth guy.
Oh, I totally am. I either tank or I don't do shit. I will prone the entire time in Call of Duty. Like,
I can't. I gotta move fast.
He's
like, run away.
I'm also a huge stealth guy in Far Cry. If I don't stealth the little like areas that they have and I get caught, I have to reset the whole level.
Oh, I don't do any of that. I tried. I'll sneak until they see me. Then it's over. We're just shooting.
Then we're like, all right, we're going ham.
It depends on how many people are left.
Oh, if I can, I can't sneak. When I played Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, I would sneak from the beginning and usually kill one or two guys, and then the guns just start blazing. That's how I play. But there's a lot of like those little things are annoying. You have like these like husks. I don't know what they're supposed to. They look like mannequins. Like there's like I was saying, there's one that's licking vomit off the floor. And they're just randomly in places, and the dog will start growling at them, and I'm like, oh god, there's a stalker nearby. Nope, it's just a weird thing that can't even hurt me. It's just there.
Yeah, it's just a little creeper. Who cares?
Very strange.
But I'm not about any of that. I'm not about any of that foot grabbing shit. Like, stay the hell away from my feet. You want to kill me? Kill me to my face. Like.
Well, they're just trying to attract the stalker. What they're trying to do.
I know, but I hate him for it.
I did too. I hated Ricardo also. He was not. I luckily got lucky where he wasn't around me a whole lot. But from what I've seen, he can be a terrible stalker to have chasing you. So I was.
You mean in like real life? I would nut punch that dude so quick, and then just take off.
I mean, it wouldn't be that. I mean, he has a gun, a very bad aim gun, but like he's just so.
Oh, I'm not scared of him with the gun. I'm scared of what he's gonna do after he's done using the gun.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah. Oh, he annoyed the hell out of me. Like, and then after you're with him for a certain point, I'm sure you saw this in the cutscene, Joe, but he puts something in her eye so she can't see him. He's still there, but he did something with alchemy where he drugs her so she can't see, and you wake up laying on a bed, and I think you're naked again, or in a sheet again.
I think it's just a shirt of like a hospital gown or whatever. Okay.
They love to do that in this game. Twice they strip her down.
Well, it's two things. One, I thought you were gonna say because I saw it was a cutscene here too. Did either of y'all throw acid at his face? So it was a cutscene of that.
No, I didn't do that.
I didn't know that was an option. I would have definitely taken that option.
Yeah, I'm looking through the game movie, and you're like both in the room, and he's like shaking the gun at you, and she throws like a bottle of acid at his face, and he like freaks the fuck out.
Good for her. That's what the rapist deserves. The wannabe rapist. That's in the face.
That's kind of the whole point of this game. Is she's in like a weird where she's being forced to do things that she doesn't want to do. People want her to get pregnant. There's a weird homunculus that wants her womanly parts, and even like down to the outfit to where people can say, oh, the outfit's really revealing. Well, yeah, some asshole that kidnapped her picked it out for her. Of course it's going to be revealing.
Yeah, this isn't like a patriarchy thing.
Like at all. Come on.
And speaking of costumes, did you guys look up the optional costumes you can unlock in this game?
I did. The second I was done, I was like, okay, what else can I do with this? Like,
one is normal. I mean, not normal enough. One is not try to be sexy.
What you
a frog
consider
costume.
normal?
Well, more not. Because like I was watching the speedrunner before I did this, and the guy's like, "Well, he's like, I only let you guys pick one costume." He's like, "How, for reasons." I'm like, "What's?" And I went and googled it. I'm like, "Oh, now I understand." Because one's a frog costume, and the rest are all just like overly sexy costumes.
Well, they all do different things though. The one you posted, which is called the illegal in some states, she gets instead of a kick, she has a whip. In the frog costume, she doesn't lose stamina whenever she backsteps, but also when she crouches, she sits like a frog. And then the cowboy outfit, instead of kicking, you have a gun, and the gun actually does tons of damage. So if you hit an enemy with it like maybe twice, they'll probably die for like a good while.
Oh, that's cool.
Huey also has an outfit where he looks like a big stuffed animal.
Okay.
I love that so much.
That's cool. I did like Huey, and like one thing about this game is like, as I think we mentioned earlier, you can kind of like build a relationship with Huey where you're supposed to praise him or scold him. He doesn't listen to. I never scold him. I couldn't scold him. He's like a dog.
You can't scold Huey. If you scold Huey, you're a terrible person.
I would just pat him like, oh, who's a good boy all the time because I could.
I scolded Huey, but it says to scold him whenever, like if you tell him to come here and he doesn't do it, you scold him and then do it again, he'll come here.
Oh, I didn't.
I refuse. Yeah. I refuse.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, it definitely affects what ending you get in the game, though.
I didn't know that until just recently. I
Yeah.
was reading about it before this episode.
Well, also just like he'll just not give a shit, and that's so cute. Oh my god.
He's a giant stuffed animal. That is cool.
He'll just like let you die, and you're just like, oh, shouldn't have scolded the dog.
Yeah, because it's saying if there's multiple endings, and one of them, if Huey's relationship with Fiona is poor, he does not rescue her at a critical juncture of the game, resulting in Ricardo capturing and impregnating Fiona.
Yeah, so you don't feed the dog, you get raped. That's how it is.
That's a little messed up.
Yeah, they said for sure the one way for sure to get that ending is you don't look for him whenever he gets shot.
He gets shot. What do you mean? When does he get shot?
Whenever he's running, he jumps into whenever you're in the forest. I saw a cutscene where Huey jumps into like a bunch of bushes and you hear a gunshot. You have to go look for him.
Oh, I didn't go look for him.
You didn't go look for him?
No.
What?
The speedrun guy doesn't look for him, so I didn't look for him. I just got the hell out of there. I didn't find him.
Well, you probably still had
look for the doggy.
you probably still had a good relationship with him. Like I said, if you kick him,
I did.
Good enough, yeah.
Yeah, if you kick him around a lot, like don't treat him good at all. The final nail in the coffin is not looking for him, and whenever he gets shot. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I heard him and I was gonna find him, but then I just didn't run across him. So then I just didn't. I found the end first. I'm like, fuck it, we're done.
He's like, I peeked around the corner and he wasn't there, so I just dipped.
Well, I just want to get the hell out of there. I'm like, oh god, I'm in the forest now. I'm almost done with Ricardo, and then you had the whole blind part with Ricardo, and I'm just.
So
I will die for my dog, thank you.
Same. Before we get into the other endings, did y'all want to talk about the final boss fight?
I want to talk about Ricardo, where you have him go invisible, and you have to run around with that. That is really freaking annoying. But the one thing good about playing on emulator, my emulator kept like glitching out. So when he'd go invisible, he wasn't really invisible because it would glitch, so I could see him sometimes. Because it couldn't do reflection. Like when Angelica would look at herself in the mirror, it would all be like purple and rainbowy colors because it just couldn't. It looked like a broken TV. It just couldn't. My PS2 emulator could not register it. So it worked out good when he's invisible. Every so often I would see colors. I'm like, oh, there he is. So that was kind of nice. But no, like
Don't you love it?
So I took forever to kill to get through the part. So I ran all up this huge tower you have to do. I get to the top of the tower, and I'm using the guide, but I missed the part where the guy told me at the bottom of the tower to kick a broken pipe to grab a piece of bridge. And I'm like, how do I get this to work? And then I had to run all the way back down the tower. I lost the dog at one point. I had to keep getting chased by Ricardo until I finally was able to get it to work. I was very annoyed.
That sucks.
I was very annoyed. And then I finally went and did it. Then the way you kill Ricardo is good, though. You go to the top of a tower, you have to get Huey to go in a hole, and Huey jumps out and pushes him off the tower. It was great. And that's how he dies.
She has feet of like steel, I swear.
Because she's barefoot too at this part because he takes her shoes.
Yeah. Well, how are you gonna take someone's shoes? Like, that's just cruel.
I'm looking at the wiki when Ricardo's chasing you and he has his hood up. The game AI actually works with that, and he has poor field of vision, so you can hide in a corner and he'll actually still run past you even though you're in full sight because his hood's up.
That's cool.
Well, hey, you know what? The physics of that makes sense. I like that. I hate when there's game-breaking physics. Like, no, don't tell me you're going to see me from 3 miles away.
That's cool. Okay, you made the game a little cooler.
Yeah, thank you.
I did enjoy. I was just happy when he died because it just felt so good to finally kill him. And then once you kill him and unlocks, you go to some other house that's connected that you've been trying to get to this whole time. Other thing that leads to where Lorenzo is, and that's the last stalker, which is fortunately not very long. But like for one thing I want to mention about Ricardo, his whole thing, you have to run these different machines to make an alchemy stone. And I was trying to do it just following the guide, and I could not find the third machine. I finally had to watch a video and do exactly what the guy did to find the machine. I could not find it.
I don't blame you.
It's so confusing. And like it's nothing like running around being lost when you know at any time someone could pop in, because I think they have a timer, an invisible timer. After so many minutes, they start hunting you more. I think too. There's some invisible timers.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I know once you get rid of them, they go like from what speedrunners were saying, they go to the other end of their domain and they start coming back towards you.
So it's basically it follows.
Yeah. Something like that is the way it worked. Wait, but then the last area with Lorenzo, which I didn't see Lorenzo. I guess he's an old man, I think, at first when he's chasing after you, right?
He's like an old guy in a wheelchair or something.
Never saw him because I glitched him out, which I was okay with.
What? He's so creepy looking.
Didn't see him. I just saw the young version because in that part you go in the small area, which is the final area, not very big. I broke open a pot, which released one of the fluorescent things. I made it follow me. I ran down the stairs. It triggers his cutscene. I ran into the block right next to it, and he never loads. The cutscene plays, but he's just not there. Fiona's just being scared of nothing.
Oh, that kind of sucks because his cutscene is actually pretty creepy because he just like shakes his head like a weird ass. He's just like blah, blah, blah. And then it's so funny.
And then a whole boss fight where you have to get him on a conveyor belt. I didn't have to do that because he never loaded until he wasn't there. So I just go in the room, kick the machine, and I win the fight.
Oh my god. That's why yours wasn't very long.
Well, I played really fast too. Like that's why I had such a short time because I even got like the thing even said Speedwalker. I was just running through this game. I just wanted to be done.
You're just like, get me out of this game.
Oh yeah, I was terrible. This is the second most intense game that I played any time recently. Well, Alien Isolation was another one that was really intense when I played it.
Oh man, Alien Isolation's fucking hard, dude.
Yeah, I beat it though.
It is fucking hard, dude. The first time you see the alien, I can still like, oh my god.
The alien not even the worst thing in that game. The worst thing is still what are you doing here? Those freaking robots.
I agree. The robots are creepy.
Hated those robots. But no, I mean, I hate being stalked. So that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's likes being stalked.
Yeah.
I love being stalked. Feel free.
Don't say that.
I really hated video games. I never been stalked in real life. I had people threaten to kill me, but that's all.
I mean, at least you weren't stalked.
No, they weren't stalking me. They were right in front of my face telling me they wanted to kill me. So it's okay.
Oh my god.
Over a woman is what it was about. But that's another story. So.
Damn women. I'm bitch ex-wife.
No, it was just a lot of and then so Lorenzo, you have that part where you get him to go in a machine and you beat him that way. Then you have a final part where you fight him again. And this was weird. Like the final room where you have to get him hit by the fans so he takes damage or something. I didn't like
mean,
this part.
Oh, you didn't even see him, so like you probably didn't see the part where he was like crawling after you down the.
No, I missed all that. All that was never.
Yeah, that part was actually really weird.
I just saw the young version of him when you get to the final room where you have to fight him like the furnace room.
Okay.
I had to do that fight. And that fight, so I did the fight twice. I did the fight once, and I didn't save the game afterwards. I'm like, oh, the save state, but I only used one save state. And then after you beat him and you kick him in the lava, he climbs out of the lava and chases after you as a flaming skeleton.
Right, yeah. Isn't that kind of funny though?
It wasn't funny when that statue falls on you and I couldn't get it off in time. And
you're like, no.
but it's, literally, I guess it doesn't say this anywhere. I had to look up a guide. You have to spin the left joystick, essentially, DualShock, and then it will eventually and hit all the buttons at the same time.
I'm kind of low key sad that you didn't get to see old man Lorenzo because I don't know. I feel like that part was weirder.
But
he like doesn't move when he gets on the conveyor belt. He's just like, "Yep, guess I'm going that way."
I mean, he kind of proved he's immortal in like the next 5-10 minutes, so it's whatever.
Why are you even scared then? Why are you throwing your hands up like you're like, "Oh no, I'm about to get squished"? No.
How does he get young?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Wizards.
Well, it's the whole idea of this game is alchemy. Like in the puzzle that you make, it's called the Godstone, but it's kind of a weird translation because the original name of it was the Philosopher's Stone, which was something that they were hell-bent on making a long time ago. The other thing that they said, I looked up what Azoth was. It's some kind of medicine thing where it's like the basic chemistry for medicine, and you can use that to make all kinds of healing abilities, which goes into the whole thing of, oh yeah, I can use it to reborn myself, or you can use it to make yourself younger.
Okay.
But I guess not other people have it, and it probably, like, because it's alchemy, a lot of stuff can be used up too, so that's why they're hell-bent on trying to get it from her, because, what is it, Roberto probably doesn't have any because he's a clone, and Lorenzo's already, 1,000 years old, so he needs more of it.
He is 100 million fucking years old, though. Like, that dude is a fucking leatherface. Like,
I'm watching the cutscene right now. Not you mentioned.
oh, good, yeah. Like, do you see when he goes? Blah, 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 blah.
I just didn't want to be chased, and like there's a way for me to get without being chased. I'm like, I'm going for it. I just want to be done with this game. Like, she threw the candlestick, but there's nothing there, so it was just funny.
I hate looking at him. I hated it. I hated when he was crawling down the hall and you're like,
Come get me, little Lorenzo. Come on.
Well, he grabs your feet too, I see, in the cutscene, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
There's another
foot
part.
grabbing stuff, not for it, you know.
it's just so weird. It's like, me.
I just thought it was funny. There's a glitch that completely skips a boss fight. Because I normally don't glitch things in games, but this was a game where I'm like, anything gets me through this game faster, I'm for. Because I also never use the items this game gives you very much. I would use some of the healing items, and at one point I gave the jerky to the dog when the dog got pretty much killed, and then I died instead. So, because the final fight with Lorenzo, he has a one-hit kill that he can do. Instant kills you.
Oh, so it does Daniela, or whatever the hell her name was.
Oh, she does too? I didn't run into hers. In Lorenzo's fight, he does a blue punch, and if you get hit with a blue punch, you're dead.
That's weird.
And items don't save you. If you're trying to feed your dog, some things will go right through you, but that one does not. That one will still hit you when you're in that phase.
Even weirder, I think the whole point of the Clock Tower games are weird incest stuff too. Because I watched a quick playthrough of someone play Clock Tower 3 recently, which technically this is not the sequel, but this was supposed to be Clock Tower 4.
Yeah.
And I believe the main plot of Clock Tower 3 is you're trying to run away from your grandfather because he wanted to marry your mom, but your mom died, so he had to wait for you to turn 16 so you can have your magical girl powers unlocked, so then he could marry you, then he could be immortal.
All right. I heard the SNES Clock Tower is a giant baby you find. I remember that.
Yeah, that part's weird.
Big ew.
That game's a weird-ass game, too.
Clock Tower 2 is equally weird because I heard someone said they got the bad ending because they forgot to look at an item in the first level of the game.
Oh, okay. I'm just seeing the way he crawls at you. You are right. That is really creepy.
Yeah, right. I told you.
That is.
You're like,
just,
no.
So I'm happy with my decision just to skip it. I just skipped the whole fight. Didn't have to that is just weird.
How do you think that would have changed your feeling on the last part?
It might have been a little more annoying. Cause, yeah, I'm watching you have to kick. You had kick the machine on, but he wasn't. He runs away. He moves pretty quick for a guy, on his crawling across the floor.
He's literally just using his old man arms. Like, come on. Ow.
Oh, but I have to ask you, did you have any problem with the last part when you're being chased by the flame skeleton? Like, did he catch you at all in that part?
Oh, my emulator was crashing a bunch, so I had to restart that a bunch.
Okay. For me, when I was doing it, when I said that thing fell on me, he caught me, and it's an instant kill if he touches you.
Well, I would assume so.
I was annoyed. I had to redo the final boss fight, and I was trying to play this right before work. I'm like, I'm going to beat this before I start my shift. I did not, and I had to wait.
You're like,
I'm like, I just want to be done with this game. I'm at the end. Like, come on now, game.
you're just like, I'm so done with this.
Oh, I was like, because one of the issue I had with it is in the very end when you're running away, you have like earthquakes are happening, so you have to crouch when there's an earthquake or she'll fall, and you have to ram a door in order to get enough time to get the pillar off you. I think like I tried to open the door or kick it, and I could not get it to work because she can't open unless she kicks it 3 times if you don't run into it, and then you get killed. I was very annoyed with this part.
I was annoyed pretty much the whole time, but I still enjoyed it though. Like it's very enjoyable. Yeah. No, I'm glad this gave me a reason to play this, honestly. I just feel like I just haven't I don't know. I just haven't really gone through and been like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and play it.
And there's one thing nice about this podcast. It gives people, including myself, to play games you never would play. Like next year I'm thinking about doing Rule of Roles finally and playing that game.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one too.
I mean, I'll be emulating that too, of course, but I figured I might as well start playing the rare, expensive PS2 games so people can at least hear about what they are.
They're great.
What other endings are there? The ending I got was just Delibitus was cutting grass, and then you just leave out the front door with Huey.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Because the way you're supposed to defeat him is with the chandelier. There's supposed to be a way you have Huey jump on his back, and while he's buying the shit out of him, you kick Delibitus, and the chandelier doesn't fall on him. He just kind of falls back and dies. Oh. And when you leave, instead of her having a stare down with him, she has a stare down with the castle, and then she leaves. And then I think the C ending is the much funnier fucking ending of the game, because in order to get that, you have to instead of getting the metal boots, you get a key to leave the castle. And so you just backtrack back to it. There's a cutscene you can get where she goes to the front gate and she's like, oh no, it won't open.
Yeah.
Well, you get the exact same cutscene as the A and B ending, where she opens it up and she's like, Huey, you ready to go? It's like, yeah. And you have the stare down with Delibitus. But since you beat him, he's not going to chase you.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, so you leave, but you have Lorenzo going down out the entrance in his wheelchair like, no, Fiona, don't leave. No, wait, please, I need you. And he falls down the stairs like an old asshole. And it's like, no, please. And then that's just how it ends, because technically you don't fight him, so he's not dead.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Oh, and those, when you see the Delibitus using those giant scissors, that's a reference to Clock Tower 1. And I think maybe 2.
I haven't played anything. I gotta play some
point-and-click game.
I need to play some more games in general without creepy foot grabbing babies.
I don't play a lot of horror games on this show. I play a lot of regular games for the most part.
You ready to do Silent Hill for the Room? Come on, bro.
Because it's Spooktober. Every year I do one Silent Hill game, and we done 1, 2, 3 Origins, so now it's time for 4.
Oh, fair enough.
And the next year will probably be, I have Homecoming, Downpour, and the Wii one. I can't think of the name. Shatter Memories.
Even worse.
I'm excited to do Homecoming because I have the fucking funniest fact for that game.
Okay.
Man, I'm interested.
Sure, say it here. It'll be a long time before I play Homecoming, so.
It'll be a long time? Okay, so do you know anything what was I was looking to say? Do you know anything about Homecoming, Mike, at all?
No. I just know it exists.
Yeah, see, that's the skin right there.
Yeah. What about you, Miranda? Do you know the whole concept of the game, like the ending and everything, right?
Oh, yeah. I am a huge nerd.
Okay.
So in the game, you meet one of the people is Elle Holloway, which is, I believe, the main character's love interest. Well, originally, Elle was a nickname, and her name was supposed to be Laura Holloway, and she was supposed to be the little girl from Silent Hill 2.
What?
Yeah, and the original concept was that they were trying to use the main character's little brother to become the new child, like Alyssa in the first game, and that's why his brother goes missing. So you had to team up with Laura Holloway from Silent Hill 2 and then Heather from Silent Hill 3, and it was supposed to be an all-new trilogy, but Konami said that's fucking stupid, redo the whole game.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm not surprised. Konami's just stupid.
Neither am I was very excited when they were. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me fucking started with PT. Don't even get me fucking started with PT.
Oh, I have a deal with my husband that it says that when I die, he has to bloat my body and like a bunch of gross festering stuff in like a week. And then he has to take my body to Konami headquarters and launch it at their building on like a catapult.
Oh, sweet. Can I be a part of that?
Sure.
You're like, I've never forgiven you for what happened 70 years ago.
Yes, I won't. I won't. That was going to be amazing. Damn it.
That and Metal Gear not being finished is just like the icing on the cake, you know?
It's unforgivable sins. It's unforgivable sins.
I wish they just sell their damn property to somebody else.
Please
One day.
do. That's what
Just
do.
let somebody else do what they want. Just license out, but here you go, make a game for us, and you get free control. I don't care. We don't do anything with it anyway.
Give it to me. I'll do something with it.
Frickin' makes me upset. I'm not a big Silent Hill fan, but I do enjoy them somewhat. So
Oh, all right.
you don't want to hear what I thought about 2 when we played 2. I had a really bad experience with 2 on the show.
Oh no.
I love 3 though. I really, really enjoyed 3.
If I
As long
had
as you don't like the movies, we're good.
I like the movies.
No, I'm not allowed. Not allowed.
I've only seen the first one. I never saw the second movie.
I'm excited for you to watch the second movie, Mike. I swear to God.
Actually, the first movie we did on the show was the first Silent Hill movie a long ass time ago. We never did that. We never did the other ones. The other one.
Well,
If
they're going to be doing a showcase for.
You got really quiet.
Watch.
Showcase.
You said showcase for what?
Relating to Silent Hill.
Okay. Or
Silent
any.
Hill official Twitter released that they were releasing latest updates for.
I don't trust them.
I want it so bad.
If I had a nickel for every time I came on the show where I had to play a game where a girl was trying to be forced to be pregnated, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's
That's
happened
too
twice.
many nickels.
Yes, it is.
The other one was Silent Hill 3. Anyways,
All right. Any last things to say about this game before we go on to questions, comments, and memories?
I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend it. I don't think it was a 10 out of 10, but I would give it a solid 8 out of 10.
Okay. Oh, right. I did get more than I expected. I posted in like 5 groups. I didn't think anybody would actually respond to me, but a lot of people had stuff to say about Haunting Grounds. I'm going to try to read some of them. Let's see. First, from the official Laser Time community, got one comment. Andrew Wilson. This game really exploded in value over the past 10 years. Yes, it has. Insanely. And then from the Giant Bomb group, first comment, Adonis Table. I never heard of this one. I think most people haven't because it's not easy to get a hold of. And from Simon Headland, it's got Goodest Boy and therefore it's a must play. Okay. From Alan Clark, it's one of the best and has the most disturbing games over audio ever. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
From JJ Franco, this game was awesome. Each stalker boss got more menacing than the next, though the very last iteration was too cute by half. What? I don't understand that. Okay. And then from, I watched the entire Overblood Super replay from Jacob Wishin. I rewatched this replay today. I didn't even know that Game Informer did a replay of this game.
Cool.
I
didn't
stopped
either.
watching the replays.
I still subscribe.
Well, they're good company. I mean, I fell off them. I used to get, I don't even get the subscription anymore because I don't go to GameStop. So
Fair enough.
they're like, oh, you should renew it. I'm like, but I don't like you guys anymore.
But I hate you.
You're a bad company. Like, I don't want to.
You'll give me 3 cents for my opinion.
I don't trade in games, but like, I just lost all interest in them. But I used to love GameStop so much, but now it's just, here, come buy Funko Pops. And from Jerica Brainigan, that boob jiggle though, not wrong at all.
Yeah.
And let me see. Okay, I got a bunch. I'll read a few from this group. Survival Horror Sanctuary. From Darren Curran, this was originally going to be called Clock Tower 4, which is why it's very similar in gameplay to Clock Tower 3. I completed a while back. Great atmosphere in this one. Recommended. From Luke DeBono, clearly you never played the old Clock Tower games. I played one of them. Okay, here's an interesting. Okay, from Neurohumaneria, I've never played this, and yeah, kind of frustrated because of the stalker. I remember before I played this game, I always bring my dictionary because I don't understand some English words because I'm Malaysian. I missed the game to meet the sexy guy Lorenzo. Okay. And from Matthew N, pro tip: get a code breaker for the full effect because you can have Fiona naked essentially.
Oh, what? Ew.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be a big hard no for me.
Not of that, but of the cheat codes where you can have no skirt, have big boobs, have super big boobs, have ultra big boobs.
That's a
This
game
is why
shark
we're
for you.
losing.
From Matthew, from the same guy also. He said, love this game, just played it for the first time last year and it was a pretty similar experience. Got to go back and see the other endings at some point. From Chris Corkill, I tried to start this, but as you said, as stressful as you can easily get lost. You can get really lost.
Mm-hmm.
Like annoyingly lost. From Sam Kendrick, I hated the panic mechanic. Me too. From Lexi Augment, one of my favorite games ever. Okay. And from the last group I'm going to read from Horror Survival Horror Games. From Katie Martin, this is such an amazing game. It was my first horror and I was hooked. It's quite tricky in places, but the puzzles are amazing. I really wish I still had it. Happy gaming, friend. From Michael Chanel, easily one of my favorite horror games of all time. And from Shannon Dem, never played it. Sadly, I wish I owned a copy, but it's so expensive. That's what PS2 emulators are for.
Correct.
Because this game, I mean, now that you told me, Joe, that this game's on PS3 in the Japanese store, that really bothers me. That they've never just bothered to just put it on the US store. It could have been that hard at that point.
It's the way it is somehow. Sony's just fucking weird sometimes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. There's some dark stuff in this game, but I don't really stop them.
Yeah.
Usually.
No, that's true.
I mean, I played other games that had some really messed up things. I know I have before. I just can't think of any off the top of my head, but I know I played them. So I found the replay. It's still on YouTube for Haunting Ground. They didn't get very far.
Shocking.
Oh, and Reiner's bald in this one, and Jeff Cork is there. So okay. Yeah, it is. I used to watch a replay, but I completely fell off at some point and never went back.
Same.
Yeah, because every saw people were like, "Oh, the replay." I'm like, "Replay? Yeah, okay." That was the cool thing. At one time, I just lost interest.
Listen,
Like I never seen the entire Overblood replay. I never will. I'm gonna keep it that way. I beat the
have.
game. That's good enough.
I have seen that. Yeah.
I got to like episode 3 or 4. I think I got episode 4 or 5, and I just never finished it. I just joined the Facebook group because for some reason.
Someone invited you.
Probably, yeah. It's been there forever now.
That's kind of how it works sometimes.
I love that group. That's how I met a lot of people who are on the show, who guest on the show all the time, are people I met from Overblood. So good group. And for our last segment, we'll do a shelf stacker box, and I'll go first. I'm going to put this game in the box. I enjoyed it, but I never, ever want to play it again in my life. It terrified the hell out of me. It stressed me out and made me go, why the hell do I do this to myself every year for Spooktober? As I'm already planning next year's Spooktober to have more horrible games on it. But hey, more horribly scary games. But I enjoyed it, but it's going in the box, and I'm never going to touch it again, hopefully. What about you, Joe?
It's going to have to be a stack for me, as much as I do think this is a classic game. I had a little bit of fun with it. I really wish I had the time to beat it and play it all the way through.
You should have for next week.
Yeah, I probably will try to put it on a flash drive, maybe hook it up to my TV and try to burn through the last half of the game. But
just use a video guide when you have to.
Yeah, but it's also super fucking stressful. That's why I wouldn't put it on the shelf because I like horror games, but man, this game thoroughly kicked my ass.
It's good at that. Yeah. All right, and what about you, Miranda?
I'd play it again. I want to see the other endings.
So you put it on the shelf?
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really glad. I'm always glad when people come on the show and enjoy the whatever random game that they play. I'm happy that they enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
I can't.
Thank you for the suggestion. Honestly, it was great. I had a fun time. Being weirded out.
And where can people find you at? For YouTube, you said?
Oh yeah, just Smooshe, SIMOSHEE on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook. Any of those.
Okay.
Hit chat and stuff. If we have a chance to play together again, I will absolutely be down.
Okay, awesome. I do horror games throughout the year sometimes. Not normally, but I'm trying to make myself play more horror games. It's hard.
Fair enough. I'm down for whatever.
All right. And if you enjoyed this episode, we have over 390 other episodes for you to listen to on Games My Mom Found. You can find everything on Podbean if you can't find what you're looking for on iTunes or Spotify, for example. Everything's on Podbean. Also want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Hath Fear. You can follow her on TikTok. She made our music. Also, if you want to help out the show, we have a Patreon. This is getting near the end of the month, but the current Patreon poll is you can get to vote which Resident Evil thing we're going to cover. Resident Evil, the Netflix show, which is winning right now, Joe.
God damn it, is it?
Yes, because people hate me.
God damn it. Apparently they hate me too.
So yeah, that you can vote for that, Resident Evil Damnation, Resident Evil Infinite Darkness, or Resident Evil Extinction. And for some reason, the damn Netflix series is winning now. So, and we have a Discord. You can join our Discord and chat with us. You'll see a link in the show notes to invite, so join that. And I want to give a shout out to my buddy Bill Tucker, who did the MCU movies with me. He started his own podcast, The Gamer Looks at 40, so definitely go check him out on there. And I think that's everything I need to... Oh, and please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. We are on YouTube. Audio only, but we're there. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
See ya.
See ya.